The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the nervous energy of 1,000 different species, each representative casting wary glances at their neighbors. For 3 centuries, the delicate balance of power had held the galaxy together, a careful dance between the militaristic Korthak Empire, the technologically superior Zephyrian Collective, and the economically dominant Nexus Trade Federation. War had been avoided through this trinity of mutual assured destruction. Commander Rayan Chen stood at the observation deck of the orbital station, his dark eyes scanning the stars beyond. The human delegation had arrived only hours ago, their small transport vessel barely registering on the station's sensors. Earth was still considered a backwater world by galactic standards, its people viewed as primitive newcomers who had barely achieved faster-than-light travel. "The council session is about to begin," came a soft voice behind him. Rayan turned to see Rose Martinez, the diplomatic attaché assigned to Earth's first formal appearance before the Galactic Council. Her auburn hair was pulled back in a professional bun, but her green eyes sparkled with the same anticipation he felt. "Are you ready for this?" Rose asked, adjusting the translation device at her collar. Rayan nodded grimly. "Earth's application for membership will likely be rejected again. They see us as too young, too volatile." He paused, watching a Korthak dreadnought drift past the station's viewports. But that might change today. Inside the council chamber, the atmosphere was electric with tension. The 3 major powers had been locked in heated debate over territorial disputes in the Outer Rim. The Korthak representative, General Thakmor, pounded his 4-armed frame against his podium. "The mining rights belong to those strong enough to claim them." His translator barked in Standard Galactic. The ethereal form of Zephyrian Councillor Velthar shimmered with agitation. "Your barbaric might makes right philosophy threatens the stability we have maintained for centuries." Trade Federation speaker. Quindar's tentacles writhed as his electronic voice cut through the argument. "Economic sanctions will be imposed on any faction that disrupts commerce in Sector 7. As the 3 powers postured and threatened, Rose stepped forward to the small podium reserved for petitioning worlds. Her voice, though small in the vast chamber, carried clearly through the translation network. "Honored counselors, perhaps there is another solution." The chamber fell silent. General Thakmor's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his species. "The humans wish to mediate between their betters? Your species has existed in space for barely 50 years. Rose maintained her composure. "Sometimes an outside perspective can illuminate what those too close to a problem cannot see." Before any of the major powers could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Emergency lights bathed the chamber in red as a communications officer rushed to the central podium. "Counselors, an unknown vessel has just translated out of hyperspace. Configuration, unknown. Size, massive." The chamber's main viewer activated, displaying the space around the station. Where moments before there had been empty void, now hung a ship that defied every principle of galactic naval architecture. It was sleek and angular, its hull a deep charcoal gray that seemed to absorb light. Energy readings spiked off the charts as the vessel's exotic propulsion systems hummed with barely contained power. "Identification request sent," the communications officer reported, his voice trembling. Response received. "Vessel identifies as U.S. Defiance, Earth Fleet Command." The silence in the chamber was deafening. General Thakmor's combat-hardened features showed genuine shock. The Zephyrian Councillor's energy field flickered with confusion. Even the calculating Trade Federation representative seemed at a loss. Rayan felt Rose's hand briefly touch his arm, a moment of shared amazement before duty reasserted itself. He activated his personal communicator. "Defiance, this is Commander Chen. What is your status?" The response came immediately, broadcast on all frequencies so that every ship and station in the system could hear it. The voice was crisp, professional, and utterly human. "Commander Chen, this is Captain Sarah Torres of the UES Defiance. We received intelligence that Earth's diplomatic mission might require assistance." On the viewer, the massive warship slowly rotated, revealing weapon emplacements that sparked with unfamiliar energy signatures. Its very presence seemed to bend space around it, suggesting technologies that the galaxy's greatest minds had only theorized about. General Thakmor finally found his voice. "Impossible. Our intelligence reports indicated that Earth possessed no vessels of this configuration or capability." Rose stepped forward again, her diplomatic training allowing her to mask her own amazement. The people of Earth have always been resourceful, General. Perhaps your intelligence was incomplete. The implications rippled through the chamber like a shockwave. If Earth, dismissed as a minor power, could field technology this advanced, then every calculation, every strategic assessment, every balance of power equation would need to be reconsidered. Counselor Velthar's form pulsed with rapid computations. The energy readings suggest a fusion of quantum mechanics and gravitational manipulation that should not be possible with your species' technological base. Captain, Taurus's voice crackled through the comm again. With respect, Counselor, humanity has a tendency to exceed expectations. The Korthak dreadnought that had been menacing the station earlier began to withdraw, its commander clearly unwilling to test weapons against an unknown configuration. The Zephyrian science vessels started intense scanning operations, their crew desperate to understand this new paradigm. The Trade Federation's merchant princes were already calculating how this development would affect market dynamics. Rayan watched it all unfold with a mixture of pride and careful concern. The Defiance represented years of secret development, humanity's ace in the hole for exactly this moment. Hidden shipyards in the outer solar system had worked tirelessly to create something that would command respect in a galaxy that only understood strength. Commander Chen, Rose said quietly, it seems Earth's membership application might receive more favorable consideration now. As if summoned by her words, the council secretary stepped forward. In light of recent revelations, the council moves to immediately reconsider Earth's petition for membership. The vote was unanimous. Later, as diplomatic channels buzzed with activity and the three major powers quietly reassessed their positions, Rayan and Rose stood once again at the observation deck. The Defiance hung in space like a promise or a warning. The balance of power isn't just broken, Rose observed, watching shuttles ferry diplomats between ships. It's been completely rewritten. Rayan nodded, thinking of the other ships currently under construction in Earth's hidden yards, each one a testament to humanity's refusal to be underestimated. Good. It was never a balance that included us anyway. In the vast tapestry of galactic civilization, a new thread had been woven, one that would change the pattern forever. The age of human space had begun and the galaxy would never be the same.